Today's video is on the one and only first ever critically acclaimed crossover of The Simpsons and Family Guy that America has been waiting for years. The crossover is titled The Simpsons Guy, a Family Guy episode. I knew it was going to be a Family Guy episode. I know some people thought it would be a Simpsons episode, but nope, it is a Family Guy episode. It starts off with Lois, Meg, Chris, Stewie, and Brian watching All in the Modern Family, a crossover of All in the Family and Modern Family. That would have been an interesting crossover if it had happened in real life. But it's not going to happen since the guy who played Archie died years ago, and Gene Stapleton who played Edith died since last year. Chris is all excited and loves crossovers. Stewie says, "Okay, that's enough." "Stewie, shut your football-headed I'm related to Arnold from Hey Arnold peanut head up and let your brother express his love for crossovers." "Go ahead, Chris. Express your love for crossovers like me." Peter does his own funny comic strips. At first the comic strips go great until the one dishwashing one was offensive and sexist towards the women of Quahog. Peter says on one talk show he loves women. He loves women so much he can name all the porn stars he knows. And he wanted all the women to keep it on the down low so Lois won't know. Really, Peter? A lot of the Quahog women are outside in front of the Griffin household mad as hell, throwing bricks in the house, all because Peter wanted people to laugh. Well, that dishwashing strip was pretty petarded on his part. Get it? Petarded? Peter's name, he's retarded? Okay, you get the picture. The Griffins decided to go on a road trip, getting away from Quahog for the angry women mob to cool down until they stop holding their grudges towards Peter. Yeah, we'll see how long that will last. Peter calls Lois babe, I believe. She likes it. She's turned on. They kiss. Meg is grossed out. Peter says she will never get that. Meg is sad and disappointed. "Peter, stop treating Meg like crap. It's not cool." The Griffins stop at a gas station. All of a sudden, someone takes the family car. The family find out where they are when seeing a sign that says, "Welcome to Springfield." And the crossover begins. Ah, the Simpsons. The Griffins go to the Quickie Mart to get a bite to eat. That's when Apu appears, and Peter thinks he's some kind of version of Cleveland. That's funny. The Griffins don't have enough money to buy donuts. Then our legendary buddy Homer Simpson appears out of the dark shadows, offering to get the donuts for the Griffins. It's great to see Peter and Homer having a great friendship, even when Homer believes that they will be just okay. Just okay? You would think Homer could have said just fine, but whatever. The Griffins meet the Simpsons. Bart eventually arrives after getting kicked out of camp. Stewie asks Brian if Bart's "eat my shorts" catchphrase is similar to Stewie's "what the deuce." Brian says, "Nah, eat my shorts is way popular." It is true, but what the deuce is awesome. Bart teaches Stewie how to prank call. Bart returns to prank calling Moe. I haven't seen that in ages. The Simpsons need to go back to have Bart prank calling Moe again. Stewie gives it a try but fails. I also love the chemistry between Meg and Lisa. Lisa helps Meg find something she can be good at. It was also helpful for Lisa to help Meg build confidence, yelling out, "I matter!" Peter yells, "Shut up! You don't matter, Meg!" Meg is sad and disappointed again. "Peter, shut your fat blubber baloney ass up!" Next, the two families have dinner. Chris takes Maggie's pacifier. She cries. Maggie takes it back. Chris cries. Luckily, Maggie has an extra one and puts it in Chris' mouth. Brian shows up and notices no chair at the dinner table for him to sit in. Since it is Marge's house, her rule is all dogs eat in the kitchen, even though Brian explained to her he always eats with the family at the table back at home. Again, it is Marge's house, so he still had to eat in the kitchen. Brian meets Santa's little helper. Lois asked him if he made a friend, as Brian sarcastically says, "He's a lot of laughs." Next, there's Bob from Bob's Burgers making a quick cameo, along with Cleveland, who ends up crashing. You know how Cleveland is. No, 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 no! Welcome back to Family Guy, Cleveland, where you belong.
Yeah, we tease him a lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Sorry for the minor setback. Moving on, Brian and Chris takes Santa's little helper out for a walk, and Brian feels that he should be treated better, so he is free from his leash, leading Santa's little helper running away, and they lose him. Peter and Homer team up, hoping to find the Griffin family car. They first drink some gas fuel. Yeah, that did not work out. Next plan, they would do a car wash to hopefully find the car. No sign of it, but they still gave the boys what they wanted. Or not exactly what they wanted nor want to see at all, unless they were women. It was hilarious seeing Peter and Homer washing cars wearing Daisy Duke shorts with their shirts tied in a knot. The one Simpsons character with the snake tattoo bad to the bone throwing up in the car. That reminded me of the one American Dad episode where Steve grew breast. Towards the end, Stan and Steve washing cars wearing similar outfits Homer and Peter wore in the crossover. I bet that's where they got the idea from this American Dad episode. And if I recall, I think they played the same song that was played during the car wash scene, also played in the American Dad episode. Bart and Stewie do a little skateboarding. Look at Stewie having a blast. Nelson arrives and punches Bart in the stomach. Stewie asks how long Nelson has been bullying Bart. Bart says for the past 24 years. Good grief! Actually, it's 25, because the Simpsons have been around, of course, since 1989. You do the math. 99, that's 10 years. 2009, 20. Currently 2014, so yeah, that's about 25 years. Anyway, Stewie helps him out by capturing Nelson, leading Stewie to say, like Bart, Cowabunga. Later, Brian and Chris make Homer, Peter, Marge, and Lois think Santa's little helper is in the kitchen. Chris makes it worse, saying, "Bark, bark! There's another dog in here!" Brian slaps the pus out of him like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" leading Chris to do impressions of celebrities. Stewie teaches Nelson a lesson by eating his shorts. Get him, Stewie! Meg still doesn't know what she's good at, so Lisa lets Meg play her saxophone. And Meg was great. You can say she's better than Lisa. Go ask the birds who were chirping back and forth outside of Lisa's window. For some reason, Lisa gets jealous looking at her best saxophone player ever trophy. I don't know what's wrong with you, Lisa, but please get it together. We all know you're the saxophone queen of the cartoon world, but jealousy is not the answer. Peter and Homer found another way to find the car. They found it, and we find out who the carjacking bastard is. It was the confused, injury-prone old man himself, Hans Moleman. What's up, confused, injury-prone old man? Love that guy, especially when he had no pants on, coming out of the car. Peter appreciates Homer for helping him find the car. Because of that, Peter lets Homer try some of that Pawtucket beer. Homer is not impressed since he says it tastes like Duff beer. Peter is offended and hurt. That's when Moe rips off the Pawtucket label and it shows Duff. Jinkies! Pawtucket beer was Duff beer the whole time? Who would have thunk? Peter gets sued and the Pawtucket company goes out of business. All the Simpsons and Family Guy characters show up at the Springfield courthouse. I like how they have characters of both shows sitting next to each other based on being similar or rip-offs of each other. We have Tom Tucker next to Kent Brockman, Consula and that guy in the Bumblebee suit, Dr. Hartman and Dr. Nick. Seeing Stewie and Mr. Burns next to each other holding their teddy bears is mind-blowingly priceless. Mayor Adam West next to Mayor Quimby. Quagmire was sitting next to Lenny, wondering if Lenny likes sex. Sound like he doesn't care for it. Yeah, Quagmire and Lenny, they have nothing in common. They are not similar. But you and Boomhauer are. Boomhauer should have made a cameo. It would have been great. Oh, I can see it right now. So you like chicks? Man, you kidding, man? What kind of question is that, man? Love women. The nice breasts and the baseball bat legs. The whole bone chicka wow wow, man. Slap my grandma, man. Wee-haw! Woo doggy. Women are beautiful, man. Nothing but angels up above, man. Alright. Giggity. Cleveland and Carl sitting next to each other. You know why they have us sitting next to each other. Carl assumes that they're the funny guys in their towns. Then Cleveland goes, damn straight. And they give each other their pound. Oh my goodness, that was priceless. That's too much. Oh man. James Woods, what are you doing there? I thought your ass got killed by Diane Simmons. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Fred Flintstone making a cameo as a judge. This is great. This is so great. The Griffins are on their way back to Quahog. Brian has to tell Marge about losing Santa's little helper until he returns right next to Brian. Meg and Lisa say their goodbyes. To remember Lisa, Meg carved her name on her arm. Geez, Meg, you went deep in there, huh? You could have used a marker or get a tattoo with Lisa's name on it. Meg thanks Lisa for helping her and that she never had anyone like Lisa to be there for her. I wish Meg would stop having such low self-esteem. Saying she's not Lisa, she's not pretty, not smart, has the same shoe size as Charles Barkley. Meg, you are pretty and cute in your own way, and at least you're smarter than your brother and father. Lisa, like Peter says, shut up Meg, but in a nicer way. They stare at each other, finally hugging each other. Oh, isn't that precious? It's nothing like seeing an 8-year-old and Lisa hugging a 17-year-old and Meg. If Lisa was around the same age as Meg and went to school together, Lisa would be by her side through thick and thin. Meg needs someone for guidance and advice, and Lisa is the one for her. Meanwhile, Peter grabs and throws the saxophone in the trash. Peter, stop being such a jackass. Stewie and Bart say their goodbyes, but before Stewie leaves, he shows all of Bart's enemies he captured, except Apu is not Bart's enemy, of course. Bart says Stewie's catchphrase, what the deuce? Stewie's flattered. He's like, oh, you said what I say. Oh, that's nice. Apparently, Stewie won't be contacting Bart on Twitter or Facebook or at all. Bart doesn't want to hang out with him due to him being cray-cray and too cynical. Come on, Bart. He was looking out for you. And if I were you, I would have Stewie as a friend to look out for me. Now you made Stewie cry. Poor Stewie. Let's not forget the fight between Peter and Homer. They were going at it. Homer crushed Peter's head using the school bus door was epic, followed by taking Peter's ass on a I'm gonna kick your ass fantasy ride. Yeah, get him, Homer. We got another guest appearance. Everybody give it up for American Dads, Roger Smith. What's up, Roger? Roger and the Simpsons aliens get sucked out of the spaceship. Roger's last words were, bye, thanks for having me. It was nice having you too on Fox as well. Good luck on TBS, Roger. Who wins, Peter or Homer? I knew Peter was going to win as always, just like in the past chicken fights. I'm sure people were rooting for Homer, and it was messed up to see the spaceship land and crush Homer. Usually Peter would have been gone by now, but he just sits there on a rock. Peter and Homer both apologize and will continue having respect for each other as long as they stay an hour away from each other, with the garbage in the middle. Translation, that garbage they're talking about is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Rest in peace, animation domination. And the comic book guy goes, worst chicken fight ever. Man, what you talking about? That chicken fight was great. Worst comic book guy ever. The Griffins return home. Stewie goes to his room while the whole chalkboard gag from The Simpsons writing, I will not think about Bart anymore on the chalkboard. Poor Stewie. Come on, Bart. He misses you. Why? So overall, great crossover ever. Man, it's a lot of crossovers going on in late 2014. It's a crossover palooza. November 9th, 5 days before my birthday, is the first ever Simpsons Futurama crossover. Yes, yes, my wish came true. Also this coming Saturday at 8/7 Central on Nickelodeon is a first ever Haunted Hathaways, The Thundermans crossover titled The Haunted Thundermans. And there is Taylor and Phoebe next to each other. Anyways, that's it. And now the crossover review's over now.